Achilles said what? Oh, hello there. How are you doing? I've just got back from the rehearsals of the forthcoming ADC Mainshow, A Clockwork Orange.
Minister of the Interior in
Let's get past it. Oh, okay. No, it's too good.
Do you want to carry on from...
But you've got a line. Yeah, he does have a line. Sorry.
I can pity myself.
Wait, do you want me to say my line first, though? Yeah, alright, let's try that.
That'd be preferable.
That'll be perfect.
Great.
What do you see?
I can pity myself. That's how it's going to be, brothers. As we come to the end of this like tale, you have been everywhere with your little Druid Alex, suffering with him, and you have vidied some of the most groundsly batches old Bog ever made, and all onto your old Druid Alex. And all it was that I was young. I'm not young, not no longer. Ah, no, Alex like growth up. Ah, yeah. Tomorrow is like all sweet flowers in the turning bonny earth, like a juicy orange in the gigantic rookers of Bog.
It's weird because I think that the way it's written is in this world where it is totally acceptable. It's a slightly bizarre thing to do, but very much part of the world that Anthony Burgess has created, that they do have fun. So it's strange.
Oh, I'd like to pull out all those feathers in its tail and sloosh it, creech, blue murder. For being so boastful.
In a way it helps because of the way the script is written, in that it's a play with music. And so, although we're not actually singing, there was always with the novel this idea that the language was kind of sort of always like a kind of barrier in front of the violence, and that it sort of deflects it slightly.
If I were to smash this wine glass full of martini and recently topped up 7-Up right now, that would be a violent thing to do. I would then have to clean up the shards and the liquid, which would be a mundane thing to do. I chatted to directors Mard de Ferrer and Ruth O'Connell Brown about balancing violence with other types of acts.
There's certainly some scenes that are more sort of balletic, slapstick, much funnier, lots of sort of physical comedy. And then there are other bits that are actually quite nasty, quite brutal to watch, and there are other bits that are more elegant.
Yeah.
I mean, Ruth's choreographed it all, so...
Yeah, it depends on the scene, because there's the initial fight, because there's that really iconic scene in the film where it's all in slow motion and it is utterly ridiculous, and so... Yeah, we didn't want to lose the comedy from that, but also didn't want to go down the too balletic route in case it looked like we were trying to do a shit slow motion version on stage and it would just look really awful. So we've changed the music and gone for sort of quite fast-paced, ridiculous stuff.
I was lucky enough to witness what Mart and Ruth were talking about in person. After having spent a few hours with the cast and crew of Clockwork Orange, I couldn't help but think that perhaps the cast had got a taste for blood, and that the violence on stage had permeated backstage.
Doctor, he's awake!
After observing all this horrendous, inexcusable backstage bullying, I had only one question left. Those of you who have seen Stanley Kubrick's film adaptation of A Clockwork Orange will not have failed to notice that the film is peppered with cocks. They're on the walls, they're in pictures, an old woman gets hit with a statue of one of them, and I was curious to wonder if, in terms of cocks, Mart's production would follow suit.
We've actually chosen to focus on a different body part.
Is it
As a
vaginas?
motif.
It's not vaginas.
That would have been the obvious choice. If you're wanting to kind of, you know,
No, we've
steer
gone
clear of
through
the
a
film.
slightly different motif that's, I think, possibly even more unnerving than the
I think so,
phallic
depending on
imagery
where
of
they
the film.
where they turn up. I think it's quite unsettling.
Depends how far we take it.
Well, personally, I can't wait to find out what body part Martin Ruth have chosen to follow the Kubrick cock. And to my money, that's as good a reason as any to come see this show.